Hey guys, if I have one word to explain the whole video, it is big. As you can see here, this is a Casablanca Panama. This is a XTR model, and it has these special BXL 72-inch blades on it. A little bit about this one. This one in particular is from the 46th week of 2006, and it has the blades. I think they're a cherry finish. And interestingly enough, these blades need a special blade arm for them, which is on the fan now. Instead of having 3 screws to hold on the blades, it has 2 up by the wings of the blade arm, and then 2 down by the base, kind of where the arm is. Unfortunately, it still kind of sags the blades down a little bit, but you know, it's doable. The blades weigh I would say about 2 pounds each. They're very heavy blades. They're very thick. I think they're made of plywood, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So in the brushed nickel finish, it came 100% complete. I got this. It was on a 3-foot long down rod. It was installed on a cathedral ceiling in an apartment complex. And I'll get into the story of how I got this fan, because it really is kind of annoying, but I figured I'd let you guys know. While I'm demonstrating, I will say the story. Here's low 4-speed fan. This one is quiet. I know a lot of these XTR fans are noisy, but this one is not. But yeah, so today I woke up very early for work, and I went on Facebook dumpster place. I know a couple of you don't like me saying that, but you kind of have a reason why. And I saw this on there, and it was installed. It had a picture of it installed on the ceiling, and it was listed 3 days ago. And I said, oh, you know, it's still on here. I'll ask about it and see if it's still available. So the lady responded and said, yes, it's available. So I said, that's perfect, you know. When I'm done work, I'll go over and grab it. It's not that far. It was only about a 45-minute drive from work. So considering this is a really cool fan, that wasn't that bad for me. But so she said it was still available, and I said, great, you know, and I always offer a little bit less than what they ask for. It's just a rule of kind of, you know, bargaining. And she took my offer, which was a good offer. And she took it, but she also said, wait, let me just make sure my neighbor doesn't want it first before I sell it to you. Now, I had a problem with that, because if you have something on a website listed, let me just turn the fan up a little bit. It's all low, it's not really doing much, but there's the second low. But anyways, if you do not have an item that you want to list right away, then don't list it at all. Because it makes no sense why you would put something on for sale, and then when somebody goes to buy it, you say, oh, let me just make sure this other person doesn't want it first. It makes absolutely no sense, you know? If you don't want it, if you're sure your neighbor doesn't want it, then you put it on Marketplace. You don't waste time and confuse people. But thankfully, I didn't really want to start any problems, because I didn't want to end up losing the fan. So I said, whatever. And she got back to me and said, my neighbor does not want it, so it's okay for you to have. So ended on a good note, but that just kind of pissed me off a little bit, because, you know, if you're selling something, you're selling it. You're not fiddling around with your neighbor and seeing if they want it first. No. You put it on when you're ready to sell. It is throwing out a nice draft. It's really not a great performer, to be honest with you. It's kind of sluggish, doesn't go very fast. If this had the regular 50-inch blades on it, it would be a wind tunnel underneath of it. But this fan, I think, focuses more on spreading the air out than giving a really good breeze. So this would work well in a really large room, but it still does a decent job for spreading the air out. Here's the next speed, which is believe medium. Again, this one does not hum at all. Unfortunately, it's not a Panama Halo. I do have 2 of those already. I was kind of hoping I'd get a 3rd one out of this, but I'm not complaining. I think it's fine. I'm feeling a good breeze over here. I'm sitting right behind the camera and it's doing pretty well. Again, it's not a big, wind tunnel. It's just spreading the air out. It's in pretty good condition too. The only issue is on one of the blades there's a scratch, but I can probably flip that over and just use the other side. But otherwise, the finish isn't really scraped up or anything. It has some kitchen grease on it, but I'm sure that's easily removable. And here's high. And it gets moving on high for being a large fan. Now, I think, personally, this thing does better in reverse because I put it in reverse before the video, and I stood on the other side of the basement and I could feel a pretty good draft airflow from it. But for the sake of the YouTube video, it's on forward. You can feel some good air from it. Not a crazy amount of air, but it's pretty good for being a large fan that runs really slow. See, the flag is very, flying around there. And I apologize, you can't hear it that well because the AC is in the next room over and it's running. But it is a quiet fan though. You'll just have to take my word for it. But, see, there is some blade sag, as I mentioned before. Shut it off. Yeah, stop the thing because it takes forever to stop. You can see how thick the blades are. Now, I'm about 6'1", and this is a couple inches past my arm wingspan, so this is a really big fan. But there's the top. Here's the down rod that it came on right there. But anyways, that's about it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.